record. Perfect. So welcome everybody. Good afternoon or good morning, depending where you are, or good evening. I know we are getting global with these events online. It's a big pleasure to see already 35 people and more are coming connected for this third meeting, third conversation of a new learning club on the theme of teaching with artificial intelligence, supported by the European Training Foundation. We are really happy from the Creating New Learning project to see this club developing and thriving, and to see actually not only the quality of the discussions, but also not only the quantity of the discussion, but the quality of the outcome that is coming out, and all the commitment of all the contributors to this club. So thank you very much again for being here. Can you put the agenda? Yes. Okay. So my task today is very simple. I will just have to bring you through the agenda of this third meeting. Can you just yes, click on the slide? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So basically, I will give now the floor to the community leaders for a recap of the club to see where we are. As you know, the club has its own life and its own journey. So to understand where we are in this journey of our group, and then we're gonna hear a very interesting keynote on what AI holds for education. So I will not disclose anything, but we're going to hear from Soneri Dram about these ideas, and then we are going to go as usual at the practical level with a practical application called the Traineasy, where we will see actually how AI can change the way I would say training is taking place from a point of view of educators as we are, but also from the point of view of content developers. But again, I will not say anything else. Then we're going to have the usual brainstorming session. So we will be sharing ideas and discussing how to go forward and how to shape together and to co-develop the outcome of the work of this club. And then we will say goodbye and happy summer, with some homework until the next meeting. So without further ado, I again welcome from my side, and I would like to give the floor to Selçuk, who is one of the leaders of our club from Turkey. Selçuk, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Fabio. Hello, my name is Selçuk. As Fabio said, I work as a content leader in this club. The Learning Club is part of ETF community of innovative educators. It focuses on helping educators adopt AI solutions. Members will discuss safe and effective AI integration in schools, address issues like consistent student assessment, and share guidelines, practices, and tools for teaching and learning. We are delighted to have interest from over 320 members across more than 50 countries in our club, representing a wide geographical area. Next slide, please, Fabio, Roberto. This learning club is led by Turkey, with Işıl Şahin and myself serving as content leaders. Additionally, monitoring and facilitation tasks are handled by Alessandro and Fabio from ETF and Roberto from STEPS. Now I'm passing the floor to Şahin.
The result of questionnaire which we had created after the first kickoff meeting. So I would like to mention about the questions and also responses from participants we got. As can be seen that we have 10 countries. Some of those are from ETF members: Azerbaijan, Finland, Germany, Italy, Slovenia, Spain, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, and United States. The first question was about to indicate the subject in which the AI tool is applied. We got many responses, as can be seen here, language, and then plus this science, reading, geography, history, seminar, cloud computing, and also one response from special education. IT, biology, and also e-learning evaluation. And the second question actually was about the specification of the name of the AI application or tool to be used in AI in education. Almost all questions had ChatGPT, then Magic Schools, Gaplin, and Copilot. And beside those responses, we also have Canva, Grammarly, Turnitin, and the Frame Virtuality. And actually, the last question was about the key challenge to be seen while using AI in education. Lack of accuracy, lack of information, and digital skills such as lack of digital competence, and also development of learning materials could be set under this question. We realized that a framework is on the way, is being prepared by UNESCO, and we have similar results under the level created by UNESCO actually, because it has three kinds of levels: step by step, accrue, and deepen and create. Actually, we are just realized that we are at the beginning of the process. If we are able to use AI within the whole process in education, we have to reach the create. For instance, at the beginning of Accure, we can mention about AI assistant teaching could be said, and also if we are able to arrive at the create level, we can say that creating with AI can be also mentioned. Thank you. I would like to give the floor to Roberto.
Roberto, the floor is yours.
Okay. Just very quick recap about what we have done last time when we met in groups for our so-called brainstorming exercise or interactive activity. So as you may remember, for those who were attending this meeting, we split in 3 groups and we were trying to answer question about possible needs and possible solutions from 3 different perspectives. The first perspective was teachers and trainers. So how to integrate artificial intelligence into your classroom, put in the shoes of the teacher, of the educator, and try to find what are the needs and what are the solutions. If you had the chance to take a look at our main open space page, you have seen that we published the results, which are very interesting. And from these results, we started thinking and reflecting on the possible outcomes, because we realized that there are some important needs that we need to respond. And on the other hand, there are some interesting solutions that were proposed. I don't want to talk too much about that, because this is something that you can find in our website, in our main page. But it was about, of course, training, it was about equipment, it was about budget, it was about different kind of assessment, and from the perspective of teaching and of teachers and educators. On the other hand, what is the perspective of the learners, of the students in general? So how can learners be supported from this point of view? So knowledge, of course, ethical aspects, clear guidelines, capacity building, seminars, and so on. From these results, we started together with our content leader, together with Alessandro, together with Fabio, and we asked ourselves, okay, now let's start from this real life needs and real life possible solutions, and we could try to figure out what the final outcome of the club would be. Maybe a guideline on artificial intelligence literacy, maybe a set of competencies and skills that are needed, that are required by teachers on one hand, but also from school leaders and from students, in order to be to improve their knowledge about this topic. So all your work during the last brainstorming activity was really precious, and I'm sure that I'm confident that also today it will be very meaningful for us in order to go on with our idea, because we really want needs, challenges, and possible solutions. The last one was about the principle. Of course, it's necessary that school leaders are involved in this phase, because they can change things from the systemic point of view. And this, we had different kind of needs, like creation of policies, like strategies, like visions, and implementation of different approaches from up to bottom, of course, and possible solutions that were proposed, of course, once again, about training and different ways to apply these new changes provided by artificial intelligence. So more or less, these were the results of the groups. And once again, you can find them on our page if you want to know more. But all these results will be taken into account, and we will use them for the future activity. So thank you very much for following me in this very short recap. And now we can go on with the agenda. So, according to our the agenda that Fabio just presented, now it's do you want to say something, Alessandro, to introduce Soner? Just a couple of words, or
Yes, I mean, we have.
Soner.
Yes, thank you, Roberto, very quickly. So we made an overview of what we have done. This is the second meetup. And now, as usual, we have a keynote speaker. And let's say the first keynote speaker is an academic, is a professor, and will introduce and bring a view of how artificial intelligence is going to bring and impact on education. Soner has a long, let's say, curricula, and has also collaborated in the past with ETF on many topics related to the use of technologies in teaching and learning, with a focus on vocational education and training. So I'm very glad to introduce Soner as a keynote speaker. So Soner, the floor is yours, and thank you for your keynote speak.
Thank you so much, Alessandro. It's very nice to see you after a long time. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen because I'm gonna be using a presentation on the topic. It's a very hot topic, as you know. Now, it's like the new Superman of education. Now, artificial intelligence. Let's see what artificial intelligence can do for education. But I'm going to start with a caution statement with my presentation, because honestly, today, I'm not going to try to paint a utopian picture about artificial intelligence or the future of artificial intelligence in education, because we have to understand the relationship between the technology and education versus technology in business, especially in production. As you all know, the technology has not had the same impact in education compared to business. Why is that? That's the key question. Because the answer is learning. Learning is so complicated. Because learning is affected by many factors, including physiological, biological, individual, environmental, personal. And as the researchers of this field, the learning field, we are not very certain of how those variables are interacting while a person is learning. But when you look at the definition of learning, I mean, we are all sure that learning is an incredible process in the evolution. And we have gained this skill almost over 2.5 million years. And what are the keywords in the learning is that curiosity, creativity, and the resilience of this human being. And let's continue with this. And we have a definition for learning, of course. I'm not certain how inclusive this definition is, but it's very common to be used. But we know that there are some changes we observe in the individuals over the time in their attitudes, skills, and knowledge. They change. And even though we define this learning in this way, there are still many places in this definition that needs explanation. But I'm going to put the emphasis on this presentation on creativity because it's a very unique attributes of the humankind. And let's look at how creativity is going to be affected by artificial intelligence, because creativity is the keyword in learning, for honesty. And in creativity, two terms are quite important because creativity is driven by the emotions and the experience. This is quite important. So the more you are exposed to something, probably the more you are going to become creative. So think about what artificial intelligence can do at this sense. I mean, in terms of the exposure, artificial intelligence is providing a great opportunity for individuals to be exposed to different learning experiences. So that's the reason I am quite hopeful about the future of artificial intelligence, especially at the enhancing the experience part. When you look at the definition of creativity, that's one of the problematic fields in education because it's really hard to define what creativity is. But what we know about the creativity is that those are very common features. If you are thinking out of the norms and out of the line, then probably you are creative. So you are not following the steps usually accepted by many people, but you are trying different ways of doing something. So that's creativity. So when the artificial intelligence comes to the picture, well, artificial intelligence applications may provide many, many different ways to try to learn the new things. So in terms of the creativity and artificial intelligence applications, I do think like artificial intelligence has a tremendous potential to provide those alternatives for the individuals as well. Let's compare those, the creativity versus artificial intelligence experiences. We know that creativity is driven by the emotions and experiences. On the other hand, artificial intelligence relies on the algorithms because they are producing or creating new content over the content that has already been created. Emotional intelligence is quite important in creativity, but on the other hand, artificial intelligence has a tremendous potential in many fields like finance, manufacturing, and the health sector. Emotions are quite important in creativity, and this is what drives creativity. But at the same time, technology, especially artificial intelligence, can easily replicate or simulate some of the human attributes, such as like problem solving, language understanding, and decision making. But what is the advantage of artificial intelligence when we compare? It's time saving. You'll see in the future, guys, in the field of education, because of the artificial applications, especially for teachers, it's going to be quite time saving for the teachers because the tasks, regular tasks that teachers are supposed to complete, now they are going to be complete those tasks within a maybe couple minutes, for example, to create a new content for their lessons. It's now much, much easier for them. I'm going to put a little bit emphasis on the emotions of individuals because why? Those are the driving forces for creativity and to learning. I'm going to share a very famous research about the emotions and how long can we experience certain emotions in the brain. Now, look at the different feelings, emotions, and how long they are effective in the brain. For example, look at enthusiasm. It's for like 6 hours. The brain can repeat the same feelings and can feel the same feelings. Let's look at the next one. Next slide. Maybe this is more important than this one. look at the duration of the sadness. How long can brain repeat the feeling, the same feeling? It's 120 hours. So learning is about feeling good about yourself. That's the bottom line. If students don't feel good about themselves, probably they're not gonna be committed in learning. But the same case applies to teachers. If teachers, they don't feel good about themselves, probably they are not gonna commit into do effective teaching. So emotions are gonna be quite important in the near future under the shadow of the artificial intelligence applications. So we have to pay attention to the emotions of students and teachers at the same time. Maybe the biggest task for us guys who are dealing with those learning environments, how to design effective learning environments, how can we make students and teachers feel comfortable, happy, and enjoy the learning environment? That's going to be a big change and challenge for the instructional designers. Let's look at what artificial intelligence can provide for us. The first thing, enhanced learning resources are going to be quite common in the future because you can create easily interactive learning content. And you'll see by using artificial intelligence applications, even you don't have to know any applications to create those interactive content. So probably teachers are going to be more inclined to use those applications to come up with interactive learning materials. And as you know, the students love interactive learning materials. This is the second item that I think is one of the most important one for artificial intelligence applications. Now, we can better provide personalized learning environments for those individuals based on their needs, their attributes, and their specific learning needs, especially those adaptive learning intelligence systems. Probably they are gonna diffuse so fast in the near future. And my best guess is that about this, especially in higher education, we are gonna see the very fast diffusion of adaptive learning systems. You'll see in the universities, higher education institutions, they are gonna be used so commonly. On the other hand, we have some administrative tasks for teachers that takes most of their time, like how to prepare schedules, grade books. So those are going to be very automated in the near future. It's going to be very time saving for the teachers. And
Roberto, please.
And
sorry, Soner.
No problem. And one of the promising fields of artificial intelligence is the learning analytics. What is learning analytics? It's a data-driven decision-making process by monitoring the individual's learning process. In advance, you can diagnose some of the learning problems and provide some interventions for those problems. Learning analytics is already very commonly used methodology in education. And especially since digital data about learning is growing so fast, this field is going to be more and more important in the near future because of the artificial intelligence applications. Maybe the group which is going to be most benefit from the artificial intelligence is going to be the students with special needs. For example, this is one of the promising fields that probably in the future, we will not need to learn foreign languages. Probably the technology is going to translate the languages to many other languages in the future. And especially those assistive technologies, for example, translating text to the voice or voice into the text, many students with special needs, they are going to benefit from this technology a lot. But the final one, the last one, but not the least one, artificial intelligence applications are going to be providing support for our lifelong learning skills as well. This is quite important, I guess, because those continuous learning platforms, you are going to be able to monitor your skills, how up to date are those skills, and how to update your skills. And as you know, now the people are taking more training than they used to take like 50 years ago, because the expected lifespan is like around like 85 in Europe, and you have to renew your skills over like every 5 years. So artificial intelligence is gonna play a key role, I guess, in updating your skills and following your skills and how to develop those. But as the last comment before I end up my speech, the point is to ask the right question about artificial intelligence, because we have been experiencing technology in education for almost like 100 years. And most of the time, we are unhappy at the end with the effect of technology in education, but it's not because of technology itself, but it's because of we are not asking the right question about technology in education. The right question is not what artificial intelligence can do, but the point is that what do we want artificial intelligence to accomplish for us in education? That's going to be the key word, I guess, for the success in the future. For example, now we are all some extent dealing with education, either providing instruction, training people, but what are the obstacles that we cannot overcome? And what artificial intelligence can provide assistance in overcoming those obstacles? So the right question is, what do we want from artificial intelligence to accomplish for us? Because once we can ask this right question and answer this, leave the old parts to engineers, because there's no problem for them to code those needs for artificial intelligence. But now the most educators, they are so affected by the artificial intelligence applications. They are so curious about what artificial intelligence can do, but rather than focusing on that, let's focus on what do we need in education so artificial intelligence can accomplish for us. So, Alessandra, I guess I'm within my time frame. I didn't exceed my time, but thank you so much for organizing such an activity. And ETF is always the leading institution in technology in education. I appreciate you guys. You never miss a point. And I hope this young team, I very love those team, they are going to accomplish a lot in education.
Thank you, Roberto. Perhaps I just spend a word to thank Soner for this very inspiring presentation. We are a club of practitioners, but it's very important your lens you take for artificial intelligence in education. I think it's very important to connect to the creativity as one of the key competences that we need to face such challenges in the innovating world. And it's very important what you mentioned in terms of connecting with emotion. I have just a quick question, if I may, Soner.
Sure.
There is a lot of enthusiasm, which is something positive, no? Because in both the teachers, as member of this club, but also the student are really, it's probably one of the first time where we bring the technology and the people say, wow. And it's curious. The curiosity it's really emerging. So according to your study and the literacy in general, so is it what kind of emotions can artificial intelligence produce to teachers, focusing a bit on teachers?
Perfect question, Alessandro. One of the, I guess, emotions that the artificial intelligence is gonna provoke in teachers is that everybody's excited about that. You are right. This is important. And as you know, as the people achieve, they are happier. That's the bottom line. And because of those artificial intelligence applications, probably teachers are going to be more successful in the classroom in terms of teaching and motivating students. And the better students are motivated and they are learning, the more motivated the teachers are. And they are going to be happier for sure. The happier the teachers are, the better they are going to be teaching. That's the bottom line. Because teachers need emotional support. That's the bottom line. Unless they feel good about themselves, they cannot cheer in the classroom. No way. So that's the reason I feel like artificial intelligence has just come into the picture at the right time. We needed this a lot because we were so stuck within the educational system. And as you know, because of the screen time the students are spending, they are not interested in schools anymore. They are not interested in subjects taught at the schools anymore. But now, because of the artificial intelligence, they may be back to the class. They may be back to the school. And schools now, again, might be interested for kids as well. Otherwise, they think schools are so boring.
Indeed. There is in the chat, you can do it really in a minute, a question for you, because we are taking a lens positive, but Levent is also wondering, are there any negative impact, particularly on students, both in the short and long term? If you can be very concise, sorry, Soner, because we have a second speech.
Alessandro, as you know, as humankind, any attributes that we don't use, we lose it. That's important. Now, if we are going to leave everything to artificial intelligence, probably we are going to stop thinking critically, problem-solving skills, even the empathy for others. So we have to be very careful, guys. I mean, this is handled with care case. Yes, this technology is effective, but if we rely on this technology so much, probably it's going to be a disaster for us. Why? We are going to end up with teachers who are doing nothing but leave everything to artificial intelligence applications, students who are doing nothing but expecting everything from the technology to accomplish for them. So as I said, I mean, this might be very effective, but it depends on how we are going to be using this.
Thank you very much, Soner, Wildir, and really, we will stay in touch on this hot topic.
Sure.
I would pass the floor now to Roberto, perhaps to introduce the second speaker of today.
Maybe Ebba had a very short question for Soner because I saw her
okay.
hand. Maybe
Sorry.
she wanted to say something. If it's very quick, please feel free.
Yes, thank you. I was just writing in the chat as well. Thank you. From your last slide about to ask the right question. So in your opinion yourself, what is the question we have to ask, and what is really the what we can achieve by AI, which is I mean, not achieved in any other places, or to fill any gaps, or I mean, it's not an easy question. It's not a short answer either, but
okay.
What are the questions we have to ask?
That's the critical question that you are opposing to me. Okay. Now, my major was instruction technology in PhD. My minor was cognitive science. And how learning occurs. I mean, what we need to learn something. There are some critical strategies. One of them is space practice. You have to repeat the content, otherwise you cannot learn. Retrieval practice. Try to remember what you know. Try to remember what you know. So those are the critical strategies that every individual should practice, otherwise you cannot learn any content. What I'm expecting from the artificial intelligence is that artificial intelligence applications can have me repeat space practice, retrieval practice, Elaboration, for example, is one of the best strategies to learn, and peer knowledge is determined in learning the new content. That's the bottom line. What you know shapes what you are learning. So artificial intelligence can provide help for individuals to accommodate those strategies. So this is what I'm expecting from artificial intelligence, honestly, but not like creating a song for kids for 20 seconds. I don't care about that. There are many songs that I can come up with from the YouTube. But the point is that, are you going to help me in the classroom to motivate kids, remind them the peer knowledge, or teach them the peer knowledge if they are lack of peer knowledge, and remind them retrieval practice, provide them some retrieval practice questions, help them to elaborate the content. So those are the type of strategies that I believe like artificial intelligence can provide a lot. Thank you, Eba, for the question.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And of course, if you have other questions, please feel free to write them in the chat. When we'll have time, we can read them or we can keep them for the next follow-up. And now I would go on with our next speaker, who is Heth Nguyen. And from the surname, we can argue that he's from Vietnam. So, Xin Chào. And so please, the floor is yours. Thank you very much. Heth is co-founder and CEO of Traineezy in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh, I think, Ho Chi Minh City.
Yes. Thank you, Roberto, for the introduction. Indeed, I am from Vietnam, so I'm the co-founder of Traineezy. So it's my pleasure to be here among the very innovative educators who are taking the I would say the interest and also the initiation to apply AI into their work. I think it's very practical and interesting to see how much everyone have questions and everyone has excitement about the application of AI to make education better. So we are a technological solution. We are invested by Techstar, which is the world's top pre-seed fund based in Torino, Italy, which is why we were fortunate to be connected with ETF and got their support for many of our activities. So what we do is we build our own AI solution to help educators and trainers around the world create micro-learning content easier and more conveniently. So from any raw materials that you are currently using to design your lesson or to use as reference material to design your teaching materials, such as textbook, PDF files, PowerPoints, research articles, and so forth. We develop a tool that leverages AI to convert that content into engaging and interactive micro-learning courses with videos, slides, and quizzes that can be learned within 1 to 3 minutes on the mobile device. And we have been in operation since the COVID period, and we've helped thousands of educators in Vietnam deploy the content to the learners in our region. And now we are expanding to Europe, hopefully to bring our value to a larger community. And what I would love to bring here today is not a PowerPoint slide or any kind of pitch, but a glimpse into the practicality of our actual product. So you can view us as a tool that could be added to your arsenal on top of the tools that you're already so familiar with, such as Copilot or ChatGPT, to help you in your journey to develop effective and interesting learning content with ease. So would love to share our screen, my screen, to see how let you guys see how our platform works. And you can see that as a teacher or educator, if you want to create content, this is what you'll be seeing on our platform. And the goal will be to create a course that is very interesting, very engaging, very dynamic, that is shared to the learners so that they can learn on their own mobile device or learn through a live room together. So if I click on this Create with AI here, I can upload a PDF file. So I'll be choosing a PDF file, which is, it looks like this. So it's a very kind of conventional PDF file that teaches some grammar points in English that is focused on the TOEIC exam, right? And it looks very traditional. And usually if a student sees something like this, usually they are very concerned, or at least they are turned away by this sort of one-dimensional and full of text kind of material, right? And our mission is to turn this into something that would be hopefully slightly more enjoyable for them to take. So I'm going to upload this file onto our platform, and I'm going to select, let's say I'm going to focus on the key concepts. So I'm going to building a course that explains the key concepts that is presented in this material here. And that's it. I'm going to generate the content now. So it's going to take a few minutes for the file to be generated. Usually if the material is under 20 pages long, then it takes only, let's say 3 to 5 minutes to generate a full lesson that has a video with an animated narrator, some quizzes, and supporting slides. So meanwhile, the AI is doing its work, I can show you quickly a content that is already being done before, after the AI has generated it. So this is what the learner would see on their mobile device, because we're looking on the laptop. So it's kind of like narrow like this, but on the mobile, it's going to be full screen. And this is the original file that I put in to generate this lesson. Obviously, it's much shorter. It's 3 pages, but it's the same format, the very traditional format. There's some explanation of grammar, and there are some quizzes that follows. So what the AI did was to turn it into so to turn it into this kind of very simple and short video with the animated character, and the voice was all AI. It was not a recorded human voice. Yeah, so the learning experience is on the mobile phone is pretty much like browsing social media. They will swipe their finger to move between the learning screens. And after they're done with one, they move to the next one. So that was animated video generated by AI. This is a slide that explains the concept in more detail. And if you click on a word, it can share a little bit more information about this one. If you want to understand a little bit more, there's a button here, so you can chat with the AI. So the AI consumes the material, understands it, and act as a teaching assistant. So if you ask something related to the question, it will answer. So what's special about this one is that we don't gather the knowledge from somewhere else. We only take the knowledge from this raw material that you uploaded. So it's very important, because if you use the more common tools, they have the tendency to make up information, or they draw information from other sources from the internet, which is something that as educators, we sometimes don't really want, because we just focusing on this part of the knowledge for now. So that's why when we build this AI, we remove that factor. And this is a slide, and
Can you please share sound?
oh,
It's
okay.
very low, otherwise, yes.
Could you hear it now?
Not really much, but okay.
No, but it's fine. In any case, I think that the sound reproduces what is written there. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's nice to know that there is a sound and there is a voice reading the sentences, but we can understand.
Yep. Okay, let me okay.
Most
I think
past
we can
tense
hear it now,
verbs
right?
end in ed. The irregular verbs have special past tense forms.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right. So just quickly going through it. And of course, there are some quizzes to follow. So a course is always like this. It starts with video explanation. It follows up with more detailed slide, and then it
Listen carefully.
it ends with some quizzes to test the learners on how much they've learned. And this one can be easily shared with just a link, or the learner can have their own mobile app, which they can revisit and learn the lesson again and again. So as you've seen the previous file I uploaded, it's already been generated successfully into a course that has 3 lessons. And it also contains a video.
Welcome to our lesson on sentence structure. In this lesson, we will explore the fundamental components of sentence structure, including word order, parallel structures.
Yeah, something like that. And then it's followed by quizzes that's already filled with the right answer. And then this is the result of the AI creation. So all the images have been generated by AI. The video is generated by AI, the voice as well. And here is this the interface where you can make edits, because obviously you're not going to be able to use the instant result generated by AI immediately, right? You as instructor or as content designer, you want to add something that is your uniqueness or some kind of customization that you want to make. So it's very easy to do it here. You can change the image. You can rewrite this even, like make it shorter, for example, and everything is supported, right? So that's basically how the platform works. We are very much open to kind of usage and testing by the community, because we are still in the phase where the AI is learning. We are talking with educated groups to see how we can further develop the product to meet the right needs of the teaching community. But when we have deployed it to schools in Vietnam, the teachers love it, and they feel that they've saved a lot of time generating, let's say, lesson plans or quizzes or supporting materials that is very engaging, so that it can increase the completion rate of homeworks, for example, because this kind of short materials can be accompanied with the main lesson, so that they can practice the knowledge they've learned at home, and the teachers doesn't have to spend a lot of time on a PowerPoint or Canvas to design this kind of lesson. So yeah, that's a bit about us, and would love to receive some questions or comments from everyone. Thank you.
Well, I would like Heather to thank you for this concrete presentation of what you can do with the support in an incredible small time. Just a question from my side. If we shared already in the chat the link to your startup website, we are now facing the summer break. Okay, so the students are supposed to do some homework. If some of the teachers connected today would like to prepare some homework that is more digestible on the C side. What should the teacher should do with your app?
Yeah, now I think it's a perfect time to test our our platform, because I think you will have more time in the summer to give it a try. So currently, you know, I think the best way is to directly reach me. So we don't we have the web app and the mobile app. So it's very easy. Just type in our traineezy.com and you go there and you create a website. Sorry, you create an account and you go in and you experiment with the AI. And if there's some problem or something that you would like to try out, or something that you would love to see, you know, realized, because we're still in the magical phase of developing a product. So we'd love to make your suggestion into reality. So I think I'll leave my contact details.
Okay, you may write your contact, Heather, in the chat. There is also one comment that I read, then I would pass the floor to Roberto to proceed. So there is the comments say, amazing. What is the AI behind, sorry, behind it? And do you provide API to put it in our system? This is quite a technical question.
Yes, so short answer is yes. We do a lot of white labeling. We do a lot of API integration. So feel free to let me know your needs. And the AI behind it is our own technology. So we develop the technology by ourselves. And it currently supports English, Vietnamese, and a few European languages. Yes.
Roberto, please, the floor. Thank you, Heather, and I would pass the floor to Roberto
Alessandro.
to move ahead.
Thank you, everyone.
We stay in touch, Heather. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, both speakers, for your contributions. They were very helpful and full of interesting insights for prosecution of our work. Now, I think we have come to our brainstorming activity. So what happens now? We will be split once again in 3 groups. So you will be led automatically, randomly also, to breakout room, let's say. And each breakout room will be guided by a facilitator. And what is the focus of our work? We thought that we would like to focus our activities in the perspective of the final outcome concerning the AI literacy, the creation, or let's say, help me, Alessandro, not the creation, but maybe the framing or the summary of possible framework for AI literacy using existing tools and using existing systems, but adapting to the possible needs and challenges of the teacher. So that's why we don't want to give you something already done, but we want to create it together with you. So we identified 6 macro areas of competency, and you will you will have 2 areas in each of the group where you could participate and you could give your inputs in order to, first of all, answer the question that will be given for each competency, and then to provide a list of possible challenges. So we adopted adopted and adapted the UNESCO framework for artificial intelligence. And what we would like to do is to involve you in order to find how this competency can be applied in the education field, and what kind of challenges. After the work, we will give you more information and more details why we are insisting so much about needs and challenges. So now I will create the 3 rooms. As I said before, it's completely random, and you will find a facilitator, maybe two facilitators, helping you and stimulating you to provide your inputs, your feedback, using the Canva. So you can write directly in the screen, you can write post-it, or you can raise your hand, or you can ask the facilitator to write down what you think, or simply you can speak. There will be different ways. At the end, after more or less half an hour, maybe less, you will come back to the plenary session and the facilitators will report what happened in their corresponding group. So hope everything is clear, but in any case, the facilitator will help you. Now I'm checking 1 second about the group, if everything is fine.
Yes, no technical glitches, good discussion. We were working all together on the canvas and then discussing a bit as well, arguing and clustering a bit the different post-it that we added. And so, but Selçuk is going to make a brief summary.
Yeah, I can start. In the breakout room, we discuss ethics of AI and AI pedagogy. It was a rich discussion. Thank you to all our participants. Now I will try to summarize this discussion. We will start with ethics of AI first. Our question was, how do you as a teacher develop an ethics vision of AI among your students? Firstly, we discuss key elements, responsible use, copyright issues, being a role model, promoting transparency, educate on AI fundamentals are our key elements. And according to these key elements, the challenge are students' use of AI without understanding, complexity, context must not be bullying, integrity, plagiarism, and changing perception. After that, we passed our second aspect, AI pedagogy. And our question was, how can AI help mixing traditional methods? And we want our participants to give some examples. Key elements are personalized learning, flipped classroom, automating tasks, novelty effects, and vice versa classroom, like flipped classroom. And according to these key elements, our challenges were diminishing novelty. Emrah mentioned about it and give a very detailed explanation to us. Motivation, fairness, bias, quality control, educate in-service teachers. I think it is very important. And integration in the lesson. These are our discussions summary. Alessandro, do you have something on contribute?
No, just because we would like to finish on time. We identify key factors for a vision, ethical vision, and key factor about the integration of AI to have a better learning experience and outcomes. We identified challenges, a very interesting one. So that is what we aim to collect. Of course, now the challenge is to solve the challenges. So this is something that we will need to reflect on it. A lot of food for thought. So Isil, if you would like to be the second.
Yes, sure. So we discuss on AI for professional development and all the steps and the challenges. And we also like to talk about 21st century skills, driving factors, and the challenges as well. And I think key point was that, it was a very insightful discussion. So both teachers and students, we become too dependent on AI. And so there were just some examples from the teachers who use AI, and they all mentioned that in the previous years, their students were just more creative and they just had more self-confidence, like they did a lot of stuff by themselves. But now they don't want to try it. So they don't want to memorize it, but they simply use AI. So I think this is an important point that, you know, we should just really be careful, like both as a teacher and maybe like for our students as well. And the other stuff that we talk about, like AI for professional development, there are so many tools, we need to explore them, but of course it's too time consuming and sometimes we may lose the point. So why are we like using these AI tools? So as Soner mentioned in his talk, like before using a tool, we should ask this question: so what value does it add to my teaching? And then of course we should go and explore the tools and like try it with our students. And there were also some like teachers who wrote that their students like rely on everything they see on the web, especially everything that AI create for them. I think there comes the need for AI literacy for students, so that they will not like believe everything like AI create for them. So that's the reason why we should also teach them critical thinking as well, which is another 21st century skills. And what are the other things? I think bias also is a huge problem, as we have like mentioned here in the previous webinar as well, because like these are the models, and so they get data from everywhere. So that's the reason why, you know, when students go and check them, they can have like some kind of bias about like their country, about all the like the situation in the world going on. So that's the reason why, you know, the teacher says that teachers also need to check, you know, before they use the content with their students. Robert, anything you would like to add? I'm just trying to go through all the text in here.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. There were the results. I may add that there were some very interesting short discussions or exchanges of opinions that animated our group, and actually, personally, I was very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Ishil.
Thank you.
Shaheen?
Yes, hello again. So we had two questions under the principle of human-centered mindset. We had a question: what steps can you take to make sure you stay in control when using AI in your classroom? So we got some kind of challenge by our participants: the plagiarism, finding and giving the right and detective and the tools such as Turnitin or Authenticate, willingness of the students through the process of AI, motivating students, social emotional learning skills. So getting lazy, a kind of challenge could be said. So and providing students creativity by using AI by themselves. So what about the steps? I'm looking at my notes that clear objectives, because we need to have clear objectives, internet connection, awareness of using AI meaningfully, providing prompt and critical thinking tools, ethical consideration. So based on challenge as a steps, we can benefit from peer learning, and also different kinds of tools and apps can be used, and plus this extra homework. So the second question was about basic concepts. We need to know about AI to use it safely in our processes effectively during learning and teaching process. So the reliability of the use of tools and apps can be set as a challenge. Sharing personal information, because some students or participants cannot feel themselves as strong and safe while using AI-based tools and applications. So reaching safe tools as a steps safe, reaching safe-based AI tools. Check the tools if you are able to use or not, and prompts and the personal information. That's I have taken my notes. These are the responses.
Okay, so thank you, Shaheen. Roberto, I would quickly close the event of today because we are running late. Turgut is writing a series of very deep questions that unfortunately now we don't have time to answer, but we will keep in our mind also for the next meetup that we will take place. So Of course, thanks to everyone for participating, to the speakers, to the content coordinators, to Roberto, everybody. And the canvas will be shared because once again, as usual, we are going to use these hints, this brainstorm output to move ahead. More concretely, in September, you may remember that we have an international forum organized by ILO, the training center of ILO, and this is the link to the website. So a delegation of the AI Club will be present. We'll have the 3 content coordinator, plus we will select one or the author of the use cases submitted. Sahin was introducing at the beginning that we received some 15-20 use cases. We encourage you to do it, others. And as a prize, we want to invite, and ETF will cover the cost, to join this international forum organized by ILO of the United Nations in Turin. So this is the very first announcement. The dates will be the 11th, 13th of September. We will analyze the challenges we collected today. Some are really transversal, some are specific for this aspect that in the UNESCO framework for AI literacies has been digged and discussed today. So we will go through and we would like, even if it's a summertime, to engage you voting to the most important challenge. We try to identify one challenge that will be bring to the ILO for International Forum and discussed there. So what I would like to say to conclude is to thanks everyone, to wish a fantastic summer. In August will be off. Take the time to relax, switch off artificial intelligence, and take care of your family and friends. But in September, we will be back. As I said, in mid-September, the club will be busy with the Artificial Intelligence Forum, and so we will be there. But take already note of the date of the 30th of September. And in the 30th of September, we will have the 3rd meetup, where we will bring back the outcomes from the, let's say, from the forum. We will bring perhaps some guests from the forum, and we will talk about the challenge identified and how the challenge was faced by the international community participating to the forum. This is all from my side. Sorry if we are finished 5 minutes late, but thank you for your active participation. The club is for and with you, so thank you very much for everything, and goodbye.
Thank you, Alessandro, for the conclusion. And thank you, everybody, for participating, for
Goodbye,
giving
thank you
so
very
much
much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
enthusiasm
Thank you.
and so
Thank
many
you.
inputs. Have a nice summer. We keep in touch. We will write you emails about the next steps.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank you.
your
Bye-bye.
informative session. Thank you, and see you.
Ciao, Nina.
See you.
Ciao.
Thank you.